Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Golden Games. This is a new weekly show I'm going to be doing where I will cover 100% immortal gambling locks for the NFL Sunday games. I'll be letting you know which ones I will be putting my money on and which ones you should tail. And if you disagree, you might as well just fade me casually. So let's get right into it. Last week, I had a couple picks and they did not go too well. I chose the Browns minus 3.5. So pissed as this one ended up missing by a half point due to a Browns missed extra point on their last drive. When they missed this, I can't tell you how frustrated I was. This was supposed to be my lock of the week, and I had talked so much shit to everybody at b3tsports.com when I wrote this article. I had told them this was a huge lock. Half of them tailed me. Majority of them faded me because they all hate me. My picks are usually trash too, so that's probably a good option. But it just didn't end up well. My next pick, because I'm biased, I obviously just railed the Cowboys money line like I do every week because I'm an idiot. But they ended up getting blown out by their rivals, the Washington football team, and I was not happy watching this game. Somehow, we ended up looking worse than the week before, and we got another quarterback injury. The Cowboys cannot catch a break this year. I swear, every year, we're told we're going to have so much hope. I have so much hope every year. I'm the one telling people this, that we should have so much hope, because we have so much talent. Let me list off some of the players. Zach Martin, Ezekiel Elliott, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith, DeMarcus Lawrence. All these superstars on our team that we are paying loads of money to. And they're doing nothing. Well, I guess I shouldn't put this all on the offensive players, at least. The offensive players are doing a good enough job with what they were given. There's been a lot of injuries on the offensive line this year. And obviously Dak getting injured is a huge blow. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I personally think he's top 3. A lot of people like to disagree with that, but I think Dak Prescott he never turns the ball over. Very accurate quarterback, throws over 60% every year. Always in the leading of touchdowns. Was crazy passing yard. Almost broke 5,000 passing yards last year. Had a crazy season last year. He was in the MVP conversation. Injured now. Screws our receivers. We get Dalton in. We were in the perfect position with Dalton too. Perfect position. Signed a backup quarterback that was worth a shit. Just in case, if the unthinkable happened and Dak got injured. Well, it happened. And we put him in. And then all of a sudden, the football team comes around and starts hitting dirty as hell. And I'm talking a dirty hit. And he gets up whoa, what did I do? I didn't do anything wrong. No, that hit was dirty, sir. He was sliding, going to the ground, and he just completely took his head off. Speared him right in the back of the helmet. This is a 2-week concussion. I don't see Dalton coming back. That leaves former JMU quarterback DiNucci coming up for us. And will we see some of his magic? I hope we do, but I don't know. All I know is that last week's game was terrible, and I'm ranting now because I'm super pissed at the Cowboys being this shit. But I have some more for them later, so let's go ahead and move on to the Golden Games. So my first Golden Game of this week is the Titans versus the Bengals. I will be taking the Titans minus 7. And honestly, I do not know what the bookies are doing here. The Bengals, while they have a good offense, have an awful defense, and Derrick Henry is one of the best backs in the league. Andy said it best on Bed Bath & Beyond podcast earlier this week that he was happy that the Steelers were able to hold him to just 75 yards and a touchdown. That would be a great day for a lot of backs in the league, besides Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, against this Bengals defense, I'm expecting will run for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, maybe even 3. I don't see them stopping him at all. And Ryan Tannehill's also been playing great this year as well. So I can see him having a good day against this secondary as well. Leaving the Bengals just needing to put up massive amounts of points, which they could be capable of in the future. But I just think right now Joe Burrow hasn't developed enough in this offense as well as their offensive line. It's complete trash. Absolutely terrible. Not giving them a lot of time. So I don't think they'll be able to hold against the Titans. I think the Titans cover this game easily. I am staying away from the Colts and the Lions game. That is not a golden game of the week. I think it's going to be a pretty close game. To be fair, I haven't really been watching a lot of the Colts this year. They're kind of like one of those teams that kind of linger around ever since Peyton Manning left. They've just been kind of irrelevant. The Lions, kind of the same, like never really relevant. Like Stafford, yeah, pretty cool from Texas. Nothing really else there besides Stafford, honestly. They traded away their best corner last year. He was the only other big story they really had. Excuse me. But moving on to the next golden game, which is the Bills versus the Patriots, and I will be taking the Bills in this game. Personally, I think the Patriots are done. I think that their dynasty is over. You kind of saw it like weaning out last year, like the last lights of it were flickering out into the distance, but this year it's really evident they're just not ready to play football. Cam Newton is not the same quarterback he used to be. I don't care what anybody says. Like, if you look at the tape for the past 2 years, you can't tell me he can throw the ball accurately. And I feel terrible for the guy. I think he's a great person. I love his personality. His clothes are awesome. I love seeing what he's wearing those days. It's always funny. And but his throwing ability is just not there anymore ever since he hurt his shoulder. And I don't think it will be there this year. Maybe in like a couple years he can get it back through some more like rehab or something like that. I'm not really sure, but I just don't see him being successful this year, especially with the receiving core that they have. It just lacks in talent generally, and their defense isn't as dominant as it usually is. So I will be taking the Bills minus 4.5 in that game. I think they'll cover at least by 10, honestly. But that is another golden game of the week. Moving on, I'm staying away from the Browns-Raiders game. Browns pissed me off too much last week, not covering by half a point. Dude, I don't even know his name. Whoever their place kicker is, screw you, dude. I had some... you pissed me off. I was about to cover like a 4-leg parlay. And this guy misses an extra point with like 10 seconds left to blow it. So mad. I couldn't tell you how mad I was. But, furious. Next game, I mean, I could get into the Jets-Chiefs game and say the Chiefs are luck, but like minus 2,500, kind of some horseshit, so stay away from that. I mean, you can't take the spread, but like the Jets didn't look terrible against the Bills. I mean, I don't really know how good the Bills are now because of that, or how good the Jets are. It kind of makes things tough with those two teams. But I think the Chiefs will cover that minus 20.5, but it's not a golden game. I just think that's how that's going to go. I'm also standing away from the Rams-Dolphins game this week. I think that's going to be a pretty well-played game. It'll be close. The Rams are kind of inconsistent this year. They sometimes look like they could win their division, and other times they look pretty poor. Only beat the Cowboys by one possession, by the way. We should have won that game, but I won't even get into that now. I've had that rant before. The Dolphins are also looking good. I don't know why they benched Fitzmagic, man. That's kind of sad. I love that dude, but Tua's also been playing pretty well. I could see them staying scrappy, maybe covering, or I could see the Rams, with being inconsistent, either coming out and shitting the bed or doing really good as well. So I'd stay away from that one. Moving on. This game should probably replace the night game, which I'll get into later. But Steelers versus the Ravens is a golden game of the week. And I am going to catch a lot of flack for this because a lot of people at B3T love the flock. But I will be taking the Steelers spread in this one. Now, don't get mad. I like the Ravens. I don't have anything against them. I hate the Steelers, honestly. I don't know why I'm betting on them. Well, I know why, because I'm going to win money. But plus 4 is a lot of points in these division rivalry games, especially when you're in one of the better divisions in the league, which I believe that the AFC North is debatably the best division in the league this year. It's going to be a close game. These guys are looking to take the division from one another. Steelers defense, man, has been impressive this year. Like, against the run, pass, doesn't matter really what you do against them, they're going to most likely stop it. The Ravens, on the other hand, always looking to see what Lamar Jackson's doing. He's an extremely interesting player to watch. Be interesting to see the Steelers can hold them. I think they will be able to personally. I think that their defense is just too good. It's literally stopped everybody. Like I said, it's crazy to even say this is a good thing, but they held Derrick Henry to 75 yards and a touchdown. So that just shows you how good Henry is and how also good the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is. But the Ravens could fully win this game. I just don't like how they could win by a field goal and still lose the spread. And I think that it's going to be that close of a game to where it could be decided by even 1 point. And it's going to be a really interesting contest. So I'm taking the Steelers in that one. And that is the golden game of the week, honestly. I think that's going to be the most interesting to watch and should have been the night game. But moving on, I am staying away from the Saints and the Chicago Bears. I am also bearish on the Niners-Seahawks game. That one could also be pretty close. I'll be staying away from that one. Just two division rivals going at it. The spread's exactly at a field goal, so I could see that pushing. So I'm just staying away. And now, last but not least, literally the worst game the NFL could have come up with for a Sunday Night Football matchup. It is two NFC least contenders, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And honestly, as a Cowboys fan, I'm not looking forward to this. I'm pretty nervous. We got absolutely torn apart against the football team last week. And this team lost their whole identity over the summer. Like, they don't even have the same name. I don't understand how we're playing with these dog shit teams when we have so much talent. I don't know if it's the coaching or if it's the scheme or what's wrong, if it's morale, if are the players not working out or something? Like, what is the defense doing? We were so good 2 years ago. We had the third best defense in the league 2 years ago. And we have basically the same cast. We lost a couple corners, which to be fair is one of the most important parts of the defense this year. So that could be really the issue there. But besides that, we have the same linebackers, a better line, honestly, until we got rid of Anderson Griffin. And then the same Xavier Woods safety. I don't get how we're so bad all of a sudden. And the offense looked great with Dak, but we just weren't playing defense still. And now that Dak's injured, it's going to be even worse. Dalton got injured as well, and which is even more frustrating because we were in the right position, like I said earlier, for Dak to get injured, and then we just got screwed even more because he got injured. Now he's going to be out with a 2-week concussion for sure, and that very dirty hit by the football team. And that leaves Denelli. We'll see if Denelli Dimes can pull it together, but I'm not thinking they will. And this is another golden game just because it's a Sunday night game, I guess. And I guess I'm taking the Eagles spread. I don't think the Cowboys will cover. I mean, the spread started at 8.5 and slid all the way to 11. So you could even wait, honestly, till Sunday, see if it slides up to 13 or 12, because people are going to be hammering the Eagles spread this week. They could easily win by 20, honestly. I would stay away from the Cowboys spread at all cost, actually, now that I think about it. Eagles minus 11 all day. Eagles minus 11 all day for sure. But that concludes this week's edition of the Golden Games. The Golden Game of the week, again, is the Steelers-Ravens game. High-key should have been the night game. Don't know why it's not. NFL, get on your shit. Thank you to B3T Sports for sponsoring this podcast. And have a great week. As always, fade me casually. Peace.